Hello everyone. In this class, I will teach you some application of the Gauss's theorem. I will teach you some application of Gauss's theorem. Okay. The number one application is electric field due to infinitely long straight charged wire. Electric field due to infinitely long straight charged wire. So this is a infinitely long straight charged wire. Okay. This is a infinitely long straight charged wire, and the charges are uniformly distributed on this wire. Okay, here the charges are uniformly distributed on this wire, and the linear charge density is how much? This lambda, suppose. Linear charge density means it is the number of charge. It is the number of charge per unit length, which is equal to lambda. And for this line charge distribution, we need to calculate electric field at a point P. We need to calculate electric field at a point P, which is at a distance r. Okay, so this is a infinitely long straight charged wire, and due to this straight charged wire, okay, we need to calculate electric field at point P. At point P, due to this infinitely long straight charged wire. Okay, here charges are uniformly distributed. That is why we cannot apply Coulomb's law, because Coulomb's law is only valid for point charges. You remember, Coulomb's law is only valid for point charges, and here the charges are uniformly distributed over this wire. That is why we have to use the Gauss's theorem. With the help of Gauss's theorem, we can easily calculate the electric field due to this uniformly straight charged wire. For this, अगर हमको Gauss's theorem use करना है, okay, तो हमको क्या चाहिए? एक Gaussian surface चाहिए. We need a Gaussian surface. Okay, we need a Gaussian surface. Suppose this is a Gaussian surface. We have imagined a cylindrical Gaussian surface. This is a cylindrical Gaussian surface. This is a cylindrical Gaussian surface of length L. This is a cylindrical Gaussian surface of length L and radius R, and this wire is at the center of this cylinder. Okay, so here in this Gaussian surface there are three surfaces. Number one is curved surface, and this is upper flat surface, and this is lower flat surface. Okay, suppose this is the cylindrical shape. This is the cylindrical shape. In this cylindrical shape there are three surfaces. One is the curved surface, and the two are the upper flat face and lower flat face. Okay, here charges are uniformly distributed over this wire. That is why the electric field lines will be emerging like this. Okay, these are the electric field lines. These are the electric field lines. So you can see the electric field lines. The electric field lines will cross the curved surface. The electric field lines will intersect the curved surface. It will pass only through the curved surface. That is why, okay, there is flux only from this curved surface. Flux किसमें होगा? Curved surface के लिए flux होगा. For the flat surface, ये जो upper flat surface and lower flat surface, through these two flat surface, no field line will intersect. कोई भी field line cross नहीं करेगा. No field line will cross these two flat surface. That is why the flux from this upper flat surface and lower flat surface will be zero. Okay. So suppose this curved surface is our S1. S1 is what? This is our curved surface, and this S2 is our upper flat surface, and S3 is our lower flat surface. Okay, we need to calculate the total flux. For this, we have considered a very small area element on this curved surface. Okay, and the direction of area vector for this area element will be along this direction, ds1. ds1 is representing the direction of area vector for this very small area element, ds. Okay, at this point the direction of electric field and direction of area vector is same. इसमें जो electric field का भी direction यही है. Electric field and area vectors, both have the same direction, the angle between electric field and area vector at this point is how much? It will be 0 degree. Okay, if you see for the upper flat surface, okay, if you see for the upper flat surface, okay, no field lines will cross through the upper flat surface. Okay, if you consider a small area element ds2, okay, this is the small area element. This is what? This is the small area element ds2. Small area element ds2. And this is what? This is the direction of electric field lines. You remember, electric field lines will be like this. Okay, so here the angle between the area vector ds2 and electric field is how much? It is equal to 90 degree. Okay, and if you consider a very small area element for the lower flat surface, then the direction of area element is always normal to the surface. This is the direction of area vector ds3, and this is the direction of electric field. This is the direction of electric field, and this is the angle between. This is the angle between the electric field and area vector. Okay. Then what will be the value of total flux? The total flux phi is equal to integration E dot ds. The total flux is equal to, it is what? Total flux is equal to, it is a flux means what? It is a dot product of electric field and this area vector. Okay, and this closed integration will give you what? This closed integration will give us the total flux. Okay. So here, so in this closed surface here, this Gaussian surface is a closed surface. Okay, in that closed surface there are three surfaces. One is curved surface and there are two flat surfaces. Okay, suppose number one is curved surface. For curved surface, the flux is how much? E dot ds1. Okay, ds1 is what? I have considered a very small area element on the surface of this curved surface, and this will give integration E dot ds1 will give you the electric flux through this small area element ds1. Okay, and then E dot ds2. Okay, suppose this is for upper flat surface, upper flat surface plus integration dE dot ds3 is for lower flat surface. So here the angle between E and ds2 is how much? 90 degree. Okay, the angle between, so an angle between E and ds1 is 0 degree. Here the direction of electric field and direction of area vector ds1 is same. That is why we can write E ds1 cos 0 degree. Okay, plus for this upper flat surface, the angle between area vector ds2 and this electric field is 90 degree. That is why it will be your E ds2 cos 90 degree plus. Okay, for lower flat surface also, the angle between electric field and area vector is 90 degree. That is why it is your E ds3 cos 90 degree. Okay, the value of cos 90 will be 0. Okay, this term will be equal to 0 and this term will be also 0. So it will be integration E ds1. Okay, cos 0 is equal to your 1. Okay, it is 1. So it is your integration E ds1. So total flux phi is equal to how much? E ds1. So here the two flat surface will contribute 0 flux. That means no field line will cross through this two flat surface. Okay, only this curved surface will give some electric flux, and that is your integration E ds1. So on the surface of the curved surface, this curved surface, the value of electric field is same, because every point on the curved surface are at equal distance from this line. That is why electric field on the surface is constant. So we can write the electric flux phi is equal to E integration ds1. If you integrate ds1, then you will find the total curved surface. You will find the total curved surface into integration ds1 means area of total curved surface. Area of curved surface. Area of curved surface. Okay. So what is the value of this electric field? Okay. Okay, we need to find this electric field. E is equal to area of this curved surface. How much? It is length is L and radius is R. So it is equal to twice pi RL. So this is the flux through the curved surface, which is equal to E into twice pi RL. Okay, this two flat surface will contribute zero flux, that because the no field line will cross through this two flat surface, the electric field lines will cross only through this curved surface. That is why the curved surface will contribute some electric flux, and the electric flux for this Gaussian surface. Here our Gaussian surface is a cylinder. Okay, this for this Gaussian surface the electric flux is this much, E into twice pi RL. Okay, and this Gaussian surface will enclose some electric charges. Okay, how much electric charges encloses by this Gaussian surface? The charges are uniformly distributed over this wire, over this infinitely long straight conductor. Okay, and inside the Gaussian surface, L length is there. ये जो conductor है, ये जो conducting wire है, inside the cylinder, इसकी इस सिलेंडर के अंदर कितना लेंथ है? कंडक्टर का L लेंथ है, इसलिए द चार्ज एनक्लोज बाय द गॉसियन सरफेस, चार्ज एनक्लोज बाय द गॉसियन सरफेस. ओके, तो हियर द सिलेंडर इज द गॉसियन सरफेस. तो चार्ज किसमें है? द चार्जेस आर यूनिफॉर्मली डिस्ट्रीब्यूटेड ओवर दिस वायर, ओके, एंड हाउ मेनी चार्ज इज एनक्लोज बाय दिस गॉसियन सरफेस? हाउ मेनी चार्जेस आर एनक्लोज बाय द गॉसियन सरफेस? दैट इज इक्वल टू Q is equal to lambda into L. Okay, so inside this Gaussian surface or inside this cylindrical surface, the L length is there. Okay, ये जो वायर का कितना लेंथ है? L length is there. Okay, and what is this lambda? Lambda is the number of charge per unit length. Here lambda is the number of charge per unit length. अगर सिलेंडर के अंदर L length है तो how much charge will be enclosed by the cylinder? The charge enclosed by the cylinder will be equal to your lambda into L. Okay, this is the charge enclosed by the cylindrical surface, or you can say the Gaussian surface. The Gaussian surface will enclose a charge of equal to lambda into L. Okay, and according to Gauss's theorem, now according to Gauss's theorem, according to Gauss's theorem, the total flux phi E is equal to Q by epsilon naught. The total flux phi E is equal to what? It is Q by epsilon naught. So total flux is equal to how much? Total flux phi is equal to your E into twice pi R into L. And what is Q? Q is the charge enclosed by the Gaussian surface, which is equal to lambda into L divided by epsilon naught. So L will cancel from both sides. Therefore, electric field is how much? Lambda divided by twice pi epsilon naught into R. So this is the value of electric field at distance R. This is what? This is the value of electric field at distance R. So this is our one application, electric field due to a infinitely long straight charged wire. Okay, so here this is our infinitely long straight charged wire. Here charges are uniformly distributed. Okay, and due to this charge distribution we need to calculate electric field at this point. Okay, we need to calculate electric field at this point. For this we have to use the Gauss's theorem. Okay, because the charges are uniformly distributed, that is why you cannot use the Coulomb's law. We need to apply Gauss's theorem. For Gauss's theorem, we need a Gaussian surface. That is why I imagine a cylindrical Gaussian surface. This is a cylindrical Gaussian surface of length L and radius R. Okay, and electric field lines will passing through the curved surface of the cylinder. You remember, electric field lines are passing only through the curved surface. No field line will cross through this flat surface. That is why flux through the flat surface will be 0. Okay, the flux will only contribute from the curved surface, and the total flux is how much? Total flux will be equal to your this one, E into twice pi RL, E into your twice pi RL, because for the flat surface, no field line will cross through this flat surface, or you can see the angle between E and DS2 is how much? 90 degree. Okay, so it will be E DS2 cos 90, which will give you 0. Similarly, for the lower flat surface also, if you dot product electric field and area vector, the angle between them is how much? 90 degree. Okay, which will give you 0 also. E dot E ds3 cos 90 will be also 0. Okay, and the angle between ds1 and electric field is how much? 0 degree, which will give us some electric flux, which is equal to your E ds1. Okay, and E is the electric field on the surface, on the curved surface, whose value is constant at every point. Okay, so E is constant. Okay, if you integrate ds1, you will find the total area of the curved surface, which is equal to twice pi RL. Okay, and this is what? This is the surface enclosed by the Gaussian surface. Okay, yes, so Gaussian here, this cylinder is the Gaussian surface, and inside this cylinder, how much surface is there? The amount of surface present inside the cylinder is lambda into L. What is this lambda? Lambda is the linear surface density. That means the number of surface per unit length. And inside this cylinder, the L length is there. How much length is there? L length is there. Okay, and in that length L, the amount of surface Q will be equal to how much? Lambda into L. Okay, this is the surface enclosed by the Gaussian surface. Then from Gauss's theorem, we know that total flux, phi is the total flux, is equal to Q by epsilon naught. Total flux we have already calculated, which is equal to what? E into twice pi L. Okay, and Q is what? Q is the surface enclosed by the Gaussian surface, which is equal to lambda into L. Okay, lambda into L. From this you can cancel L from both sides. Then electric field is your this one. E is equal to your lambda divided by twice pi epsilon naught into R. Okay. So there is a question in exercise. Okay, the question number is 23. Okay, the question number is 1.23. Okay, here the question is an infinite line source, okay, produces a field. It produces a field. That means field means electric field, and magnitude of the field is how much? 9 into 10 to the power 4 Newton per Coulomb. 9 into 10 to the power 4 Newton per Coulomb. Okay, at a distance of 2 centimeter. Distance is how much? R is equal to 2 centimeter. Calculate the linear charge density. That means we need to calculate the value of lambda. Calculate the linear charge density. Okay, so this is a line charge distribution. Suppose over this line the charges are uniformly distributed at a distance 2 centimeter from this line charge. The value of electric field is this one, 9 into 10 to the power 4 Newton per Coulomb. We need to calculate lambda here. Okay, so what is the electric field due to a line charge distribution at a distance r? Suppose r, this distance is r. The electric field due to a line charge distribution at distance r is equal to lambda divided by twice pi epsilon naught into r. Twice pi epsilon naught into r. Here we need to calculate this lambda. The lambda will be equal to what? Twice pi epsilon naught r into E. Okay, twice pi epsilon naught r into E. Okay, so what is with the value of 1 by 4 pi epsilon? 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught is equal to 9 into 10 to the power 9. Okay. Okay. So this 1 by twice pi epsilon will be how much? It will be your 18 into 10 to the power 9, okay, or twice pi epsilon naught will be how much? 1 by 18 into 10 to the power minus 9. Okay, so in place of twice pi epsilon naught, we can write 10 to the power minus 9 divided by 18. 10 to the power minus 9 divided by 18. Okay, and what is this r? R is equal to 2 centimeter. That means 2 into 10 to the power minus 2 meter. And the value of electric field is how much? It is 9 into 10 to the power 4. Okay, so it is 9 to the 18. 10 to the minus 9 minus 2 minus 11 plus 4, 10 to the power minus 11 plus 4, to minus 7 into 18. So the lambda is equal to 10 to the power minus 7, okay, coulomb per meter. Okay, coulomb per meter. Here the lambda means what? Lambda is the linear charge density. That means the number of charge per unit length. The number of charge per unit length is how much? 10 to the power minus 7 coulomb per meter. Okay, this is the numerical of this type. Okay, then we go for the next application, which is the electric field due to an infinitely uniformly charged infinite plane sheet. Application number 2, electric field for uniformly charged infinite plane sheet. Electric field for uniformly charged infinite plane sheet. Okay, this is the next applications. So this is a plane sheet. So this is our plane sheet. Here the charges are uniformly distributed. Here the charges are uniformly distributed over the surface. So let sigma be the surface charge density. Here sigma is what? Sigma is the surface charge density. That means sigma is the number of charge per unit area. This is a plane sheet. And due to this plane sheet, here the charges are uniformly distributed over the surface, and due to this plane sheet we need to calculate electric field at a distance r. Suppose from this plane sheet at a distance r, we have considered a point P. Okay, here the point P is at a distance r. Point P is at a distance r from this plane sheet. Okay, and at point P we are going to calculate the value of electric field. Okay, at point P we are going to calculate the value of electric field. Okay, this whiteboard can be considered as a plane sheet also. Suppose this is a plane sheet, and if the charges are uniformly distributed over this whiteboard, okay, and for this plane sheet we need to calculate electric field at a distance r. Suppose this is the point where you need to calculate the electric field. Similarly, in this diagram also, this is a plane sheet. Over this plane sheet the charges are uniformly distributed. Okay, and lambda is the surface charge, sigma is the surface charge distribution. Sigma means the number of charge per unit area, and due to this uniformly charged infinite plane sheet we need to calculate electric field at this point. So here the charges are uniformly distributed. That is why we have to use the Gauss's theorem. Okay, we cannot use Coulomb's law, because Coulomb's law is only valid for point charges. We need to apply the Gauss's theorem. Okay, for Gauss's theorem we need a Gaussian surface. हमको क्या चाहिए? Gaussian surface चाहिए. तो इसमें Gaussian surface हम कैसा लेंगे वो देखो. Suppose the point, this is the point where we need to calculate the value of electric field, and the point P is at a distance r, and this is supposed towards right side. On the left side also, at the same distance, We have considered a point P dash. We have considered another point P dash. Okay, and the point P dash is also at the same distance, R. Okay, suppose if this is the plan sheet, okay, if this is the plan sheet, suppose at a distance R, P is any point, suppose at a distance R, here this P is any point. At this point we are going to calculate the value of electric field. Okay, for this we need to use the Gauss's theorem. Okay, Gauss's theorem अप्लाई करेंगे तो हमको क्या चाहिए, Gaussian surface चाहिए. Gaussian surface के लिए मैंने क्या किया, on the left side also at the same distance I have imagined another point P dash. Okay, and the distance between P and P dash is how much? It will be your twice R, because from the surface the P is a point on the right side at a distance R, and from the surface on the left side we have considered another point P dash. Okay, that means the distance between the distance between P and P dash is how much? It is twice of R. It is twice of R, and taking this P dash as an axis, taking this P dash as an axis, taking P dash as an axis, taking P dash as an axis, so we can imagine a cylinder. We can imagine a cylinder which is passing through this, plan sheet. Here the plan sheet is passing. This plan sheet, this Gaussian cylinder is passing through this plan sheet. Okay, this Gaussian surface is passing through this plan sheet. So we need to calculate the electric flux for this Gaussian surface. So here the Gaussian surface, this is the Gaussian surface. Here the Gaussian surface is a cylinder. Here the Gaussian surface is a cylinder of length twice R, which is passing through this plan sheet. Okay, and here you remember, suppose the cross-sectional area of this flat surface is A, and the cross-sectional area of this flat surface is also A. Okay, this is a uniform cylinder of same cross-section. At every point the cross-section will be same. So here the electric field lines will be emerging like this. That means, okay, the electric field lines will passing through this flat surface. Okay, no field line will cross the curved surface. You remember? Okay, on the left side also electric field lines is only passing through the flat surface. No field line will cross through this curved surface. That is why the curved surface will contribute zero flux. Only these two flat surface, only the two flat surface of the cylinder will contribute some flux. Okay, for the right flat surface, this is our right flat surface, and through this right flat surface the electric field lines are emerging out like this. Okay, if you consider the area vector at this point, the direction of area vector is normal to the surface, and the angle between electric field and area vector is same. That is why flux for the right surface, the flux for the right surface will be how much? E dot A, flux for the right surface. Okay, phi r means what? The flux for the right surface, which is equal to E dot A. A is the area vector, which is always perpendicular to the surface, and on this flat surface electric field lines also perpendicular to the flat surface. That is why angle between E and A is 0 degree, so it will be equal to your EA cos 0, or it will be your E into A. The flux for the right surface is equal to your E into A. Similarly, for the left flat surface, the direction of area vector A and electric field is also same. Here also the direction of area vector and electric field is also same. So flux for the left surface will be how much? Phi L means flux for the left surface, which will be equal to your E dot A. And for the left surface also, द एंगल बिटवीन इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड E एंड एरिया वेक्टर A इज 0 डिग्री, दोनों का बीच का एंगल कितना होगा, 0 होगा. सो द फ्लक्स विल बी हाउ मच, EA cos 0 degree, cos 0 will be your 1, so flux will be equal to EA. Okay, through the curved surface of the cylinder. Here the cylinder is a Gaussian surface. ये जो cylinder है, we have imagined this cylinder and this is the Gaussian surface. Gauss's theorem के लिए हमको ये Gaussian surface imagine करना पड़ेगा. Okay, here this cylinder is the Gaussian surface through the two flat surface. Okay, this is a cylinder. Okay, these are the two flat surface. These are the two flat surface. Okay, and through these two flat surface, the electric field lines are crossing. That is why the flux will contribute only through these two flat surface. Through this curved surface, no field line will cross because electric field lines are emerging like this, are emanating like this. That is why no field line will cross through the curved surface. The field line will cross only through this flat surface. That is why the value of the total flux will be how much? Total flux phi E is equal to your flux for the right surface is your E into A and flux for the left surface is E into A. So it is total flux is equal to twice of E into A. The total flux will be how much? It is twice of E into A. Okay. Then the charge enclosed by the Gaussian surface. Charge enclosed by Gaussian surface. Charge enclosed by Gaussian surface. Okay, this cylindrical surface is the Gaussian surface. This surface will enclose how much charges? Okay, this cylindrical surface will enclose how much charges, which will be equal to your sigma into A, because this Gaussian surface will cover a area of A. Okay, the charges are uniformly distributed over this surface, and the cylinder will cover an area of A. The Gaussian cylinder, the Gauss's theorem is only covering a area of equal to A. That is why the charge enclosed by the Gaussian surface will be equal to your Q is equal to sigma into A. What is A here? A is the area enclosed by the Gaussian surface. Okay, चार्ज किसमें है? चार्ज इज ऑन दिस प्लेन, चार्ज ये प्लेन शीट में है और प्लेन शीट का कितना एरिया गॉसियन सरफेस ने एनक्लोज किया है? ए एरिया इज एनक्लोज बाय द गॉसियन सरफेस. दैट इज व्हाई चार्ज इनसाइड द सिलेंडर विल बी हाउ मच? चार्ज इनसाइड द सिलेंडर, हियर सिलेंडर इज व्हाट? सिलेंडर इज द गॉसियन सरफेस. तो गॉसियन सरफेस के अंदर कितना चार्ज है? गॉसियन सरफेस के अंदर जो चार्ज है वो होगा सिग्मा इनटू ए. हियर सिग्मा इज द नंबर ऑफ चार्ज पर यूनिट एरिया एंड द सिलेंडर विल एनक्लोज एन एरिया ऑफ इक्वल टू ए. ओके, ये सरफेस का ए एरिया एनक्लोज किया है. दैट इज व्हाई द चार्ज एनक्लोज बाय गॉसियन सरफेस विल बी इक्वल टू योर सिग्मा इनटू ए. ओके, नाउ फ्रॉम गॉसेस theorem, the total flux phi is equal to what? Q by epsilon naught. Okay, so total flux is how much? Total flux is equal to your twice of E into A. Q is what? Charge enclosed by the Gaussian surface, which is equal to charge enclosed by Gaussian surface how much? Sigma into A divided by epsilon naught. So A will cancel from both sides. Electric field is equal to what? Sigma divided by twice epsilon naught. Okay, so this is the electric field. If you want to write in vector form, it will be equal to your sigma by twice epsilon naught n cap. N cap is what? The direction of area vector, or n cap is the direction of electric field. The direction of electric field is along the direction of area vector. N cap is the direction which is perpendicular to the plane sheet. Okay, so this is the value of electric field for an infinite plane sheet. Okay, for an infinite plane sheet, the electric field is equal to your sigma by twice epsilon naught. Okay, the value of electric field depends upon the number of charge per unit area. Or you can say the value of electric field depends upon this term sigma. Sigma is what? The charge density. ओके, ये जो इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड है इट डिपेंड्स अपॉन द सरफेस चार्ज डेंसिटी. ओके, in next class we will discuss some another application of Gauss's theorem.